Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. This show is for you if you just bought your first AR or if you've been building them for years. There is something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. My name is Nick Dooley, and I am joined tonight, as always, by my very special guest, co-host, Garth Over.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, I mean, yeah, we're here.
And again, we also have with us our director of propaganda, Joe.
Howdy.
So, can I say it? Can I do it? Can I do the thing?
What thing?
The thing where today is the 16th of January, 2025, and for those listening and who have been on a journey with us, this is our 4-year anniversary to the day of the AR-15 podcast with Nick and Garth.
Yes, that is the thing. That is a factual statement. That is true. And yes, that is true. It is 4 year to the day since our first episode came out, or
since we dropped our first episode. Can't say it was like the day we recorded it, but
because we started recording in like November.
We did, but it didn't drop on iTunes until or actually on the network until the 16th. So 4 years.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. So it's been quite a run, guys. Like we've had a lot of stuff happen in 4 years.
Actually a lot of stuff. It was funny because we got a Facebook message today from a guy. He's like, "Hey, you guys are back." I'm like, "We never left." I'm like, "Oh wait, you mean the other hosts?" Yeah, no, they definitely are gone. But hey, we're here, and so hopefully we got a new listener. Add one more to the old blackboard there. So hope you're here and hope you're hearing this.
Yeah. No, it is great. This has been quite a ride and adventure for us to be on. I'm super happy to have been experiencing this with everyone. And yeah, there we go. I think that'll be the end of nice things I say for a little while.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. I just had to throw it out there because like I was super stoked about it.
I mean, in the world of podcasters, 4 years in staying running is got to be pretty good. I'd like to see some sort of study or something on how many people I'm going to do a podcast, and then like my brother did one he got over 100, and he just randomly babbled in his PTSD mind, which was a little weird at times, but it fizzles out for a lot of people. But you guys have stayed strong and got a decent following, so
yeah, it's definitely been a ride.
No, that's for sure. I remember some of our first episodes, and we were like, "This is hard to talk for an hour," and now we're just like, "Oh, that was an hour, cool." So
yeah, so according to the internet, the average podcast only lasts around 50 episodes.
Well, then we better push for 200, at least 200.
Yeah. I mean, really, we should go for at least our combined weight.
Oh gosh, I gotta get my calculator out.
The answer is a lot.
Oh, it's a lot. I know. I'm gonna ballpark yours, and I'm gonna ballpark.
I would
mine.
say you're probably going to need about another 55, 60 episodes is all. So another year, a little over a year.
Well, now that you're here, Joe, I'm going to add you in there too. So that put us around 800 pounds. So, and we're on like 465. All those aren't really ours. So we've got to go to like 1,000.
Now that is really the question. Are you going to live that long? So
yeah, I'm gonna live forever. It's been proven. I've done some dumb stuff and got up and walked away. I don't know how.
This is true, and I've been with you for a lot of it. But no, so well, let's get rolling through here as we get going. It is awesome. We'll talk more about what we have done in the last 4 years and what things are going to go for. But guys, did you do anything fun this week with guns?
I'll let Joe start.
Not so much. I drilled this weekend. We were pretty busy, so I didn't get a chance. I took my Mantis stuff to work with my section, but we were too busy to get any of that broke out. I built a goat gun. I found the
nice
the coyote, the tan and M4 at Shields because I had to return a mag, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna bring that one home. So
I have walked into Shields so many times and saw those on the wall and been like, ha! And I've like had a stack like this big in my hand and walking up to the counter, and then I start adding all the numbers up. I'm like, I have bought like $300 in non gun stuff, but they're gun stuff, and I'll just slowly kind of spread them out throughout the store before I get to the checkout. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking these home. I can't do it.
My wife thought I was an idiot. It was a few years after we started dating, and her family does they do white elephants, but there's one with just the guys and one with just the girls. And I had bought a goat gun for it. She's like, nobody is gonna want that. Yeah, they're fighting over it, and the guy that got it is ex-army, and he's a high patrolman now. And his wife's like, yeah, he's just giddy about this thing. He's, went home right away, put it together. Yeah, they're awesome.
No, they are super cool. I've actually got my my tan M4 over there on the shelf right now too, so I kind of see it in the stream there. I think they're sweet, so I definitely want to do the whole set eventually someday because I see they even have like the rifle rack for them and stuff, but I have a gun wall, so I was thinking maybe I could leave a little extra space and just put a whole bunch of them up there too.
Yeah, I was like, I could just do a gun wall of goat guns.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be sweet.
I like your wall, but I'm not a fan of just having weapons sitting for anybody that can get into my house. Not that my safe's gonna stop non-honest people, but that's just a personal.
Well, that's why I have the keypad on the door over here that I never lock. So,
but if I break in somebody's house and I see a keypad like that, that's the door I'm going in.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes. I did not do anything too exciting. I think I don't think I've even really done anything besides carry one for the last week. I've done a lot of work with the Ace VR. I've done a lot of dry fire with that. That's my fun with guns. And because we had kind of a cold snap here, then I also had drill. And we went out and did a bunch of paperwork to get ready for matches and made sure that we have like targets and target inventory and boring admin type stuff that one needs to do. But
all the boring stuff so we get to actually do the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. I had to go through and do all of that. And that was a good time. And that was definitely a thing.
No, I'm right there with you guys too. I haven't done anything too awesome with guns this week. I wanted to take my Supreme out. Didn't get the chance to do that because every day I wanted to go to the range, it was windy or cold. And then nice days we actually had to go haul some kern. And then I haven't played my VR since last Thursday, and I'm kind of upset with myself. It's been on my couch looking at me, but I've just been too dang busy to make that happen. So I think tonight, after the show's over, I might go out and blast away at some.
Also, I do think I have a declaration to make involving your Supreme.
Okay.
So, are you guys familiar with Vermin Supreme?
No.
Oh, I guarantee you are.
Oh, is it the dude that wears the boot on his head, right?
Yes. The guy from Vermont that makes it onto the presidential ballot every year or every time in Vermont as like this crazy. I am going to take away your guns and give you better guns was one of his platforms.
Claims to be a wizard. Wears a boot on his head. Usually wears a.
It's like like a rain galosh.
Yeah.
I think we need to have your Henry Supreme rifle be called the Varmint Supreme,
Okay.
and have a video of you shooting prairie dogs with a boot on your head.
Well, I was just thinking, Dukes of Hazzard. Did you have the possum helmet on? No.
No, the armadillo helmet.
Yeah, the armadillo helmet. There you go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
mean,
think
I've seen a
We should pencil
coonskin.
him in too.
What's that?
What's that?
Pencil him in as a guest.
I'll see if we can make that happen. Like I'll
gosh.
reach out and see if we can get him to come on.
So
That
where
would
does
be.
That could be very funny. And yeah, but we should have Garth shoot the Varmint Supreme, and like maybe have it engraved with like a little boot on top, like an upside down boot.
Yeah, it'd be good. That'd be a fun one for one of our coming up range days that we're gonna start.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And have that, because why not have a little bit of fun with it? So that is funny to me, and that's just all I have to say about that one, because I'm like, that would be hilarious. And every time you're like the Supreme, I'm like thinking either of like a 60s Motown girl group or Vermin Supreme.
Well, I bet we could do some sweet woodwork on the stock and make that happen.
Yes, just like a weird boot upside down would be funny to me. Oh, so no, I have that going on. I had that going on. I'm going to try and get out to the range tomorrow for a little while, because it's still supposed to be nice. I don't think I'll have any pressing business that takes me away. We had some of that other stuff going on today that I was going to do stuff this afternoon, but I had to go do other things.
Mm-hmm.
And
I keep telling myself I'm gonna start dry firing again and just get busy. Last year I was really good at it. I'd use my brakes in the morning. I'd run my cert pistol, and then I'd run my Blackbeard in the afternoons, and I got a lot of reps in, but just been
Do you want
lazy.
to try that the cool fire trainer out I have?
Maybe.
We'll
see.
Okay.
Yep, and no, we'll get down with that, and like we all have some work to do, and we're doing some dry fire training, because where we're at, it is hard to do things right now because it is getting to be the oppressive cold, like 2 months of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually been nice out the last few days, which is kind of weird.
Well, and the other problem is when it does get nice out, it all melts, and our
So muddy.
outdoor range turns into a mud hole.
Oh yeah, coming back from the farm today, it was like surfing in my Ford. I was all over the road. I almost went in the ditch twice, and I wasn't going that fast.
Oh, I do have other exciting stuff that will have happened tomorrow. So
oh yeah,
for future us and future you, the listener, I will have done exciting things, but that's for next week's show. Because if everything goes right, we will have some new product in to talk about, and maybe something to test. And one of those things Joe will be very excited for.
Nice stuff coming.
Yep, that'll be here tomorrow.
Sweet. That just means I gotta go get the rest of the stuff to finish it.
Yep. So that'll be here tomorrow, along with something for me that I am excited about. But I'm going to talk about what we've done in the past. I'm also going to answer a question here I saw, because I saw somebody was complaining earlier, and I have answered an inane amount of questions. And, we're not going to talk about Mike the Weeb and his Darth and Ghoulie comments.
Oh, funny.
Yep.
Should have definitely killed that prairie dog instead of waiting on him.
Yeah. But so back here, I see that we had a comment from John about taking a terrible week when he tried to change the muzzle device on his Sig Spear LT. And that has been the bane of many a guy's existence, is trying to remove the muzzle device off of those SIG spears. They're not nice.
No, he sent me the Snapchat videos and pictures of it, and it was a process for sure. A torch and a cutting wheel may have been involved.
Well, I know that I did not know that's what was going on because he was talking to you, not me.
Hmm.
I would have told him other ways to do that, because had I known it was a SIG spear, I would have recommended other things.
I didn't get the opportunity to. It was one of those simultaneous videos, like this happened, this happened, this happened. I was like, oh. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
I know that many people have had those things, issues with them where they would boil them and then like hold them in the steam above them
That's
to
what he
let
just said. Water
everything
soaked
go.
for 24 hours.
Yeah, boiled in water, torch, well, and then cutting wheel, and you have to kind of let the steam get into it as well. And I know that this is not proper gunsmithing advice. I've also heard of people using a deep well impact socket
Mm.
over the top and then rattling it off with an impact. And it is, some people have no issue at all with them, and some people, they are the absolute worst thing on the planet to take off. And then to make matters worse, when you put a new muzzle device on them, you have to either have the adapter that like SIG sells to go back, because it's a tapered, like the barrel is tapered. It doesn't have a hard shoulder like a standard barrel does. So it has to use either a jam nut to hold everything in place, or it has to have a tapered fixture that goes down to the end so that it has something to index and brace off of for your muzzle device. And they can be a bear to deal with.
Yeah, it looked like a project. Thankfully, it turned out he was able to get everything off and put back together. Although he did send me another one asking about a gas block system on the gun because he said it was a little loose. He went out and tested some rounds. Everything worked and functioned fine, but he was just curious about that gas block in the future.
Well, and depending upon what he did, because that is a with that barrel, so that's a a piston gun, obviously. And I see that Klecker has said that we soak them in Croil. Sometimes that works. And Croil is amazing stuff. Like, that is probably the best penetrating oil on the planet. And having that will help. But with that gas piston and how that gas block locks up, I'm not sure what it was that ran through. So if he had to, like, if he took all the gas system off the barrel and it came apart, or if possibly he had put a little bit of pressure on it one way or the other to cause it to be loose. And sometimes with all of the other dicking around you do with vibrating, the set screws for the gas block may have come loose. And all of those things are possible options. Without me actually taking a look at it, I can't tell. That's diagnosing second or third hand through the internet.
No, I totally get it. So I guess keep us informed, John. And if it happens to blow up, don't.
We are not liable.
Yeah, we're not liable. Sorry.
The AR-15 is not liable for any accidents you may cause after gunsmithing your own stuff after listening to us while drinking. Or sober.
That too.
After taking the barrel out of the upper and putting it in the vise, because it's an 11.5-inch pistol and torqued on the gas block. Okay, that might explain some of it. But I would just check to make sure everything is set. Maybe run some new screws or the set screws into it, because they may have been lengthened from the torque. And so if it runs suppressed, so cool, I guess. Hey, man, groovy like a drive-in movie. And run her till she blows, as they say in the racing world.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Now, as we went through here, we talked about that. I do want to speak a little bit. Now, this is the point where I am going to give a public service announcement to everyone who listens to the AR-15 podcast, in whatever manner you do.
You
This
do a
is
little
me.
soapbox preaching.
Me, Dooley, talking to you, gentle listener. Stop writing letters to the ATF.
If you are not in front of a judge that was appointed by the president, you don't have to worry about what they say.
Yes. Also, like, this is what happens. Like, hey, so I know that there was this thing about braces being banned. I put this on my new pistol, and I just wanted to make sure it was good. Okay. I just wanted to look like that. And I'm going, why are you a private citizen sending letters and questions to the ATF about the legality of your equipment? I understand that you want to be a law-abiding citizen, but if you don't understand the rules, don't go to the agency that tries to put people in jail.
And remember, they don't
Question is,
make
why is
law.
still writing letters today?
They
What's
don't
that?
make the law. They try to interpret it, and then Congress or Congress makes laws. The Supreme Court tells you if they're valid or not. All the ATF does is enforce them, and they enforce them how they see fit. So if you draw attention to yourself or to anything, even what they write in paper doesn't matter.
And
Because
I also, yeah, this whole mess has gone up or blown up. So there was a Gun Owners of America GOA member who sent a question into this. And like, I understand you're trying to do the right thing. I get it. I'm still very disappointed in you, just like your dad. And that's why he went out for cigarettes and never came home. But when we go through this, it's okay, you filled this out, you did this, why did you send this question to them? And they got a response back saying, no, this is in fact illegal because putting a brace on as a stock is illegal, because that is a very, very true thing. It's, it is a brace. It is to help with shooting, and all of these things. And but shooting in unconventional positions does not, reinvent this. We've already been through this ad nauseum. And if you get the wrong person in tech division or anything like that, they will be like, nope, it's illegal. And then they send it back, and then the internet blows up and everyone goes crazy. The ATF has since walked backwards from this and been like, hey, nope. So our guy messed up, and this is not illegal, because they realized that there were federal rulings about things and whatnot that were this was going to be a big time deal.
this had already been in front of the court. They cannot supersede anything that comes out of the courtroom.
Yeah, and with that, now is my chance to shit talk the NRA. The NRA went through and tried to troll on GOA about saying this didn't happen and they were making a big deal. And that is not true. Like, everyone went through, it was just like, again, guys, I understand. We all care. Stop writing letters asking if this is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, specifically about pistol braces. I understand if you're doing something with a weird 3D printed, like you're 3D printing your own can, or you're doing something like this, you have questions about a super technical thing. Yeah, get it. If you're buying a factory gun with a brace on it, for the love of God, do not send anyone.
I just want to know who writes a letter in 2025.
I do.
I know you do.
I write letters. Would you like to know why I write letters, Garth?
Please.
I write letters to elected officials.
Hmm.
Because there is actually there's
a point system basically on how you talk to them. If you call them versus emailing them versus actually writing a letter. You get a better response, or they
They
take the
take it
handwritten.
more seriously.
Yeah, like they don't like their emails basically just go into a junk folder. Like they're not going through 4 million emails. Phone calls get screened, personal letters get read. Like if you want to get to your, and I'm not saying this to send them anything other than a piece of paper that you wrote on. If you want to get the attention of your
Elected
elected
official.
official, you
Right.
handwrite it nicely, or maybe even print it out.
Yeah, a printed letter is fine as well. Like,
Yeah.
a written and printed letter. And yes, write your congressman, not the ATF, exactly as Klecker said. And that is what you do is you write your Congress critters to let them know, because there is a points value on it. And the more letters you send, the hotter they get on a topic, the more they base what their constituents want off of it. So in 2025, it is still very important to write letters.
Fair enough.
And try to don't just take what Guns of America says. Hey, this is what you need to tell them. Don't copy paste it and send them that, because if they read the same thing 5 times, they're gonna be like, okay, put it in your own words based off of what those organizations are telling you to say. It sounds better, it looks better, as opposed
Personalized.
to 500 of the exact same copy pasted email from Joe Blow 69 at Hotmail. Yeah, they don't care.
That was your email in high school, wasn't it?
Nah.
It was 42069.
Oh, okay.
So I did want to comment on that and just say, hey guys, don't do this. Like,
don't draw attention to yourself. Like, why would you want a federal agency to know that you're doing something that may or may not be illegal? That'd be like me calling my sheriff and be like, can I grow this plant? What if I go buy this Sudafed and put it in a jar? Why would you draw attention to yourself?
Precisely. But no, so with that, we'll move on from this lovely topic of me angrily yelling at the ether about somebody doing something I disagree with.
That happens.
As Garth just sits back and laughs at me.
I know what trips your trigger sometimes. I know that gets you. Don't draw attention to yourself when you don't need to, right?
Yeah. So you're
That's one of my specialties.
Why are you putting a target on your back?
Yeah. Why?
See, like, you wear neon colors and yell a lot, and these people like call the government.
Yeah. I just shit talk them to people. I don't write them letters.
It's like, don't do 2 illegal things at once.
Precisely.
Why would you why do anything?
It is illegal to grow gooseberry bushes in North Carolina. I would not call about it to ask. Exactly.
Fair.
There we go. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
So, no. All right. So as we sit here, now we're going to get into, like, you've listened to me yell for at least 10 minutes about how much it is that people irritate me by doing dumb things. And I have not yet begun to defile myself on that topic. But, Garth, you said earlier at the beginning of the show, it has been 4 years.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him. I can't hear Nick at all.
No, he's not even moving.
Okay.
No,
well, yeah. He's kind of back.
Yeah, I'm here. I talked and I
Okay.
said, Garth, you said it had been 4 years. And you said at the beginning of the show. And at 4 years, what is it you think? What are some of your fondest memories of the podcast?
Man, of the podcast itself, and just doing this for the last 4 years has been honestly super humbling. It's amazing to me the amount of people I meet in my day-to-day life, not that, not from Pierre or Central South Dakota where we're from, but when I go on trips or when I actually talk to people outside of our community, how many people have heard of our show? And it's just super humbling to know that people actually want to listen to us and have listened to us for the last 4 years, because I still think we're just a bunch of morons in our basements talking about guns. And it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I've had a blast doing it, but some people actually like to hear what we got to say. And so it's a big thank you from me to you guys that you've been on this journey with us for 4 years and many more to come, obviously. So we're not going anywhere. It's just a little milestone, I think, for us. And I can't wait to keep going on it. But beyond that, like we said, the industry is super small, and you get to know people on a decent level once you introduce yourself and stuff. And we've met a lot of cool guys, we've met a lot of cool girls, we've seen a lot of cool products out there. So again, I just can't wait till we start going to more of these conventions this year, 2025. Like we said, we've got at least 3 of them we want to do, possibly. We're trying to look for more. Again, guys, if you know of something in your area where you think, hey, maybe the AR-15 crew should come out and hang out with me and go to this event, let us know about it, because we would love to come to these things. We want to meet people. We want to see new products. We want to see what the next thing is. So please let us know about that. So those are just a couple of the things I've really enjoyed about the podcast.
Correct. And I'm going to say it's been a lot of fun for me. I know that when I conned Garth into doing this with me, he wasn't quite sure what to expect, because I'm not sure he'd really listen to a podcast.
No, I didn't really care, because
Something that
I
would
knew
enlighten him. Like, he's like, I quit learning in 8th grade.
Oh yeah, well, no, it wasn't even that. It was just like I knew what kind of people did podcasts, and I went, nerds.
And then he went,
we had that conversation with some guys down when we were down in Georgia. They're like, everybody I meet's got a fucking podcast. And dude was just sitting there like, we're not gonna say anything about this till we're about out of here. No, we have a legit podcast. It's been around for a while, not just like.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, because when we got into that, somebody's like, wait, you have a podcast? And I'm like, what? I was like, yeah. I'm like, why didn't you say something earlier? Like day one, everyone went off about how stupid podcasts were. And I was like, oh, all right, whatever. You guys don't want to hear about my stupid podcast. And they're like, well, but yours is about like guns and stuff. It's not just you like talking to the ether. I'm like, well, really it is. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but this is the same conversation I have with anyone.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Including like the checkout person at the grocery store.
These used to be the same conversations we had at the Legion on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
And now we just have a lot more people to listen to you.
Exactly. As I sit here and suddenly pontificate on like, this would probably work. But again, it is like Garth, you were saying how awesome it is to kind of meet everyone and get involved with the industry and work with some awesome companies. That has been one of my main things that I've loved is meeting. I as much as everyone says I like am or am not a people person, I'm a person, not a people person. And I like meeting good people and good companies, especially good companies that have good products like VZ grips. And the unique features of VZ grips is they are machined from a solid block of G10. And G10 is great because it's durable and doesn't get slippery when it's covered with mud, blood, or sweat. The 17-degree grip angle and wide variety of texture from mild to extreme, as well as color options available, with shorty versions also there. There are 1911 grips with extreme customizability, standard slim palm, swell, thumb notches, safety kits, bottom profiles, and more. More than 25 textures and 27 colors are available, and there is one coupon code that is good for 15% off all handgun and rifle grips, and that code is AR-15 podcast.
You think they'll send me one for that?
We can sure work on that.
To try to. I was looking at their AR grips. I'm like, I think I could run one of them on that new build that I'm gonna have.
They are.
Yes. And yes, Clicker, we are definitely gun nerds.
Oh, by the way, if Eric Drew is out there in the Ethernet land or going to listen to this later, your package will be sent tomorrow. I had to wait on one more thing, but it's getting sent now. So my bad, buddy, but it's going to be on the way.
Yes.
What about the other guys? They should if you did get a prize package there from a couple weeks ago, tag us on Instagram or on the social media so that we can everybody can see we aren't just full of it.
Or let us know if you got them, because I wrote some different addresses than mine on there because I thought it was funny, and then I thought to myself, I hope they get there.
That is a thing.
Well, I figured, as fun as it is for everyone to have my address, I don't want everyone having my address.
I'm sure if they just write your name and the city you live in, it'll get there.
Yeah, in this town it would, 100%.
Well, and I have long said I have like the worst kept secret identity in what's
His wife.
What's that super grippy sandpaper cut that Dooley enjoys on the VZ grips?
Yeah, on the VZ he's asking. Because I can't remember which one it is, but yeah, it's textured sandpaper. It is brutal.
It is not sandpaper.
It's not nice.
I'm just saying it's not sandpaper. It is the VZ Stipple Gen 2. That is the aggressive one.
It's aggressive.
And yes, Dr. Jonathan, you can.
Yeah, you really can.
But so we talked a little bit about some of our favorite memories. I know that some of my favorite ones is have been, we've talked about meeting people. It's hanging out with some of our friends, like both in the industry and then making new ones at these events that we've talked about. Guys, we're going to start talking about like GunCon again and stuff like that. And when we do, come to these events. You can meet so many awesome people. And, if you have them, you might have a chance to hang out and, have parking lot whiskeys around the bed of a pickup while showing off guns in a parking lot.
That totally didn't happen this last year.
Yeah. I mean, those are things. And that is like, those are some of my fondest memories. Like, yeah, I enjoy the show. Like I've had the opportunity to nerd out with guests and talk about things at a science level and like engineering and mechanical level, and even talk about theory that would be someone who like in the greatest nerdscape I can. But also, like, that has been amazing. Like when Nathan Mitchell and I talked about like manufacturing methods for an hour, that was awesome. When we hung out in Brownell's parking lot and had a case full of shooters of whiskey, that was probably better. When, we talked to defunct suppressor companies about like new materials they were going to use and how they were going to be the latest and greatest thing. And then they just went away like a fart in the wind. was cool, but not as cool as starting a pool party.
Correct. Or maybe hanging out with the Swamp Fox guys and the Matador guys in a house party in Las Vegas.
Yeah, hanging out in a house party in Las Vegas where we did that. Watching a Eurocopter start a party by shooting a chain gun off of it. Those were all things that were fun. And like, those are all really good times. Like, we have met some amazing people doing this. And I think most of the amazing people we've met are actually listeners of the show.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's cool when we actually get to meet other influencers because they have the stardom and the fandom. These guys have been doing it so long. It's neat that we've got to know them and stuff and can learn from them. But at the end of the day, we're just guys in our basements. Like I said, we just want to hang out. We want to talk guns. We want to, see what's going on in the world and how other people do it, living with guns in wherever state they are and how they, have to deal with the laws and rules of their land. And yeah, it's so much more fun just to get to know people. And that's what I really, really enjoy about this.
And I still hate that term influencer.
Well, I don't think we are, and I don't want to use it, but some people. Are you playing with a laser right now?
What are you talking about?
I saw it on your wall. Okay.
I don't know what it is you speak of.
These are not the lasers you're looking for.
Yeah, the word influencer gets thrown around a lot, but at the end of the day, it is what we are, or you guys are. I mean, you're there representing and trying to build a brand based on one or two things, and unfortunately, you have to rely on social media to do it. Where that's where that term comes from, but you're probably more real than most of the influencers. Not necessarily. I'm not talking like Gun World, but the ones that claim to be influencers where they just go on trips and post, skimpy thirst traps. But
I mean, I could do that if you guys really wanted me to, but I don't think the
I
listeners.
know you would. Yeah, the guys AR-15 calendar shoot with some Ranger panties and.
Oh
why,
yeah.
why would we post skimpy things like that when I can just show my wiener off on the podcast?
Nice.
Everyone, this is Lily's debut. This is my baby Lily. She is a 2.5-month-old mini dachshund, and she's coming along for the ride. So hopefully you guys get to meet her. All right, bring me out of full screen. This is weird.
Yes. So Garth just showed off his hairy wiener.
I did.
And as we go through, because I'm looking at all of these comments coming up about what Garth just did.
Yeah.
And where I see us going in the next couple of years, like as we keep going forward, guys, I hate to say you're going to get more of the same, but you're going to get more of the same. You're going to get more disjointed conversations where we can't keep our track of thought together. And
why we need people in the chat. We need people hitting us up on the social media. Give us ideas. Give us topics. Send us cool stuff. We'll play with it. We'll review it.
100%. And
all that stuff. And it's more of the same, like Dooley's saying, right now. But we also have plans. We want to get out and make some original content. We're trying to plan some, going out to Garth's place and doing some of our own range days that are themed on certain things. Yeah, I'm new here. Most of you guys don't know me yet. I'm trying to build the snowball. These guys are the base. I want to be the guy with, getting and drawing the attention and coming up with some ideas on stuff that we can do. And hopefully, my only goal right now is to be better than that other guy that used to, sit with them. So Tyler even listen anymore?
I'm not even sure he did to begin with. But
no, I haven't heard from Tyler in a while. I was supposed to buy some body armor from him, and I never heard a thing after I said yes. So no, I agree with you guys. What Joe said there, and also, if you guys have ideas you want to see us do for social media, because like Joe said, we're going to try to do a lot more range stuff where we take some video and put some videos together for you guys. So please let us know if there's something we can do within our budget, or we'll try to make it happen adjacent. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also, Scary Guy here says, have you guys ever used a cheap brass catcher? I'm going to buy so many of these things now. Yes, I have. I have used them. They can be good. They can be bad. Most of them now are getting a lot better than what the original ones were that were just like a piece of wire that clipped over. The newer ones are a lot better than what they were in the past.
Yeah, I actually have a big net one that you can post up just off to the side, so just catch it there. I know some guys have used tarps and stuff, but I really do like the brass catching nets themselves. I'm not a fan of the one that hooks right to the gun. I've never had good luck with that one, but
You gotta empty it every so often, and
yeah.
It really depends upon what you're doing and what calibers you're using. I know that just because I was watching a conversation that Dr. Scary Guy had earlier, he was talking about running an AR-15 upper, and those eject out of the mag well. So guys would empty out a mag, like pull all the guts out, and use that as a brass catcher.
Oh,
to catch all the 5.7 brass as it came out.
Cool.
But
I mean, I get it if you wanna save your brass. So one of the last times I got into a fight with a guy at the range because I went down to check my targets. I came back and he picked up all my brass. Oh, I didn't know you were still here. You thought somebody just left their firearm and magazines and stuff laying on the table? Like, so then I was a real jerk, and I made him go through every round because I knew what I was shooting. I need all mine back. What do you need them for? I'm like, the guy I buy them from gives me a discount if I bring the brass back.
Nice.
Precisely. So, also going through, thank you to everyone who has listened this long. We realized that tonight was disjointed and kind of rough, as we didn't really have a hard topic on this. We were more just going to kind of flow with it because it is a anniversary episode, if you will. And this one came in without a hard topic and was a lot more just like, hey, we're going to BS about this stuff and get rolling with it. So,
But there is actually one more person we should thank real quick, Nick, and that's Patriot Patch. PatriotPatch.co, the company that's been with us from the start of our 4-year inception. And man, guys, if you haven't checked them out, Nick's got a patch. I've got a patch here. They do it all. They rep your patriotic theme, movie themes, pop culture stuff. They have the Patch of the Month Club. Go subscribe. It's worth having. They send you sweet patches every month for a decent price. Guys, go check out Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co.
Precisely. And I know that, like I see that Scary Guy here talked about, he had an old dude with a grabby stick pick up brass from under his feet once. And like we've seen that. That's an aggressive brass goblin. And I hear 37 says, when I build mine, I deliberately used a California lower without the magazine release because I didn't want that redundant feature.
Actually, one of my favorite things to do is when I go to the range, I take steel ammo just so people are out there picking up like, who shoots this crap?
I did see a video that was posted out, and it was from Bill Geisley, and he was talking about, like, I know that last week I not so eloquently went off about Federal's 7mm backwoods. And if that brass is in fact ferrous, and can be picked up with a magnet, he actually was showing some interesting data running it against brass with supposedly the same load, and he was getting a 300 foot per second difference, and he was getting faster velocities.
Really?
Running their new metal case, and that is a good thing, I think, because if we can do that and eke a little bit more pressure out, as long as we're not increasing bolt pressure and bolt thrust so that we're going to damage things, if it's all contained within the cartridge, then that's awesome. But there could be something to that, because having a new, better material to make cases out of could lead to better things.
No, that's true.
Again,
always evolving.
But I don't know if it's there yet.
What was that company we shot last year? And they had their bullets that weighed substantially less than the the average off the shelf stuff.
Well, we've shot a handful of different ones.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of them.
There was one that was like Simex, or something like that to that extent. And they were like they were another like odd training munition type thing.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Then Liberty Munitions did a lot of ultralight, high speed. Like they would do 9mm that was like 85 grain was their heavy like self defense. And their whole thing was they were trying to build hydrostatic shock out of a rifle, and
well, the stuff we shot was pistol ammo, because I remember they made us lift up each tub. So you'd have one tub of 9mm
yep.
here and then regular ammo here, and there was a substantial difference in weight. So I just can't remember, because they were just getting off the ground or something like that.
Yeah, it was Thimex.
Okay.
And like they had a lot of stuff. It was interesting to do because they were like had to shoot both of them, and they're talking about recoil reduction because they're shooting a lighter bullet, et cetera, et cetera. And it was neat. G9 Defense also does a lighter bullet, but they have a different bullet design, and that is an amazingly effective pistol round. G9 Defense also, so is the Honey Badger from Black Hills. And that is the way they work is like, what do they call them? External hollow points, where they work on torsion and expanding everything as it goes in. Oh, hey, look at that. Dusky just talked about or mentioned that the do you think the external hollow point design will ever see more frequently load and used more? I know now there are a handful of law enforcement agencies picking up and using the external hollow point design, including some local to us.
Oh.
So I know that it is gaining a foothold, and so you might see it being used more. It does have a lot of options. For rifles, I don't know if it will do more because of how it works with the scallops and things of that nature. I don't think it will work quite as well, and I may be wrong on that just because of how important it is to have the shape of a bullet to do high speed, long rangey things.
That's fair.
Now, like I say that, and somebody's going to put like a Honey Badger or a Lehigh Defense or, a G9 bullet in a 350 Legend and start taking out deer at like 400 yards with it.
I mean, that'd be a pretty solid shot.
Well, it's just one of those where I'm like, oh, this is like, I will say that, and then somebody will be like, oh, hey, look at this. And I'll be like, oh, look at that. I'm an idiot. Or at least I didn't think about that. But yeah, for like a 450 SOCOM or, 450 Bushmaster, something like that, you could probably, if you got the bullets, you could probably load it and then do some range testing. But that's not really a world I generally play in.
No, that's what it is. So, Joe, since you're going to be coming on a little bit more, with the show and stuff, what are you having for a look forward to for the AR-15 podcast?
Well, like I was saying, just trying to do more to grow the brand, to get us out there, to get more listeners, more eyes outside of the people that already know who we are. So, and trying to do stuff on Instagram, which is about the only place that's somewhat friendly yet. I'm sure we're shadow banned, but and like I said, just bringing ideas to you guys that we can expand upon, like the range days, just try to bring up topics, and looking forward to hitting up some of the events with you guys. That's something that I think be a good time. You guys definitely gonna be the ones doing most of the talking. I catch stuff here and there when I'm, on the social media stuff, trying to build from that. So, but Nick's always got his ear to something. If there's a question, it's usually hard to stump him if somebody comes in and say, hey, what about this? He's probably heard about it, and I don't know where he's getting it from, because as far as I know, we're in the same circles. But yeah, just building the brand, getting it, 2 people, 3 people, we got 5 people watching right now. Can we get that to 10 by June? That sort of thing. Getting people to just tune in, getting more feedback of that, getting that conversation going. Anything
Yeah.
that
Well, and I know that we can't look at what's going on in our StreamYard because according to StreamYard, there's 4 people looking at it. According to Rumble, there's 28 people watching in Rumble.
Okay. So yeah, we'll fix that part. We'll talk to some people, get that stuff fixed too. No, yeah, just so can we get it to 100 then, by the end of the year? What can we do? And just try to educate people, entertain people at the same time. Just not be boring, if you want to build something and make sure we don't lose this, freedom that we have of firearms and AR-15s, you've got to present it in a good light, and I think you guys have done a good job at that.
That has been one of the things we've done. I know that we have one of the things I will say, I am proud of what we have done, and there are people who've complained about it, and there's also people who've appreciated about it, and it is very hard to do, especially in our sector, is we try and keep some of the politics out of it. And that's hard to do as a gun podcast because, guns are inherently political. Like, that's just a how things go. And you're starting to see more and more people, and it doesn't really matter what side of the aisle they're on, come to guns. And I think that is good.
True. Oh no, I think it's great. It's fantastic.
Without getting into the politics of everything that's going to go on Monday here, but we're seeing changes in companies. We're seeing changes in the political landscape. I know we had rumblings of stuff happening 8 years ago in that 4-year stretch that didn't come to fruition. What will we see that stuff this time around? Will we lose the NFA? Will we lose,
Yep.
that stuff? Will we, even not so much on the firearms part of it, the Second Amendment part of it, but will they crack down on social media with the shadow bans and the censorship? Because
I mean, like
I
Facebook
can do a
saying
YouTube video that says this is how to properly do this so you don't blow up your gun or you don't accidentally shoot somebody because it's flagged because it's got a firearm. What are you actually, what's the point of your social media if we can't teach people, if of your platforms? So hopefully there's that talk of, are they media producers? Are they, do they produce stuff, or are they just a platform? So, and at which point, when it comes to will they tax them or how they get taxed on that, we've got 4 years here, hopefully, to find out, to just say, hey, I understand you don't want every, crazy left wing or right wing person just spewing what they want, but they have that right. And because you want to block them, you're blocking people that are just trying to do your job. You talk about guys on YouTube getting demonetized or shut down for a post that happened 6-7 years ago. Like, come on, there's got to be checks and balances here, and I'm hoping we get to see that. I don't know. We thought we'd get to see it before. I think we made it through the last 4 years without taking any big hits, but
yeah, and
can we get some big wins? That's going to be the question. And yeah, we don't want to get into the politics of it, but sometimes it's going to be hard to just not, hey, this is how I feel about it. Have an open discourse, because I think that's the thing is a lot of people don't like getting into the politics of stuff because nobody wants to have a civil conversation. They want to just scream and throw from far left, far right. Doesn't matter which side of it you're on. Mm-hmm. Can we have those center conversations and just introduce people to what we're doing.
Exactly. And that's one of the things where we've done, like I said, it's guns do get inherently political just because of the nature of the beast. But with that, we've done, or at least have tried to make it more about the sport, the shooting, and the guns than about like screaming, oh, like, no, look at these libtards trying to block everything. Like, if I want to do that, I'd log onto Facebook.
Mhm.
There's other groups out there that do that. We don't have to be the ones, pointing out, hey, this is what's going on. Yeah, if there's a big issue that
Yeah,
our
we'll talk
listeners
about it.
people want to hear about, or just, hey, what is your take on it? Because I'm hearing this or I'm hearing that, and it's so hard to do your own research. But that's what everybody claims: go out and do your own. Well, I don't know what I can, what you can believe and what you can't believe. Just take the fires from California. Like, you're hearing so much stuff from both sides. It's like, I can't get out there to do the research to know what's going on. I'm not, us three, we don't have that direct contact to somebody that's on the floor of the Senate to hear how, any gun bills or stuff like that is going on. So we stay out of it and talk more about, hey, check out this cool thing we got to play with this weekend, or hey, we're gonna be here and check out this new stuff. So, and that's really fun, anyways.
Exactly, because nobody wants to hear me go on a rant, other than to say, I believe in the civilian ownership of fighter aircraft and battleships.
You mean no one wants to see and hear Nick go, did I ever tell you why I don't like the government?
Is it really illegal to own a battleship? I mean, I understand it's gonna be hard to get munitions for it, but if I just want to cruise around on one, if I can find a decommissioned one and I can buy it, that's where a lot of people get confused. Like, there's certain things aren't necessarily illegal to own. It's just good luck finding the right channel to buy a ship that's being decommissioned.
Well, the other part of that is like, what do you call a battleship versus a PT ship, a patrol ship and stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
So like during the Revolutionary War, like most of the cannon used were owned by civilians.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we issued a letters of marque to like private vessels to be privateers and go mess with English trade ships. Like, straight up, we sent John Paul Jones to go invade England, and they did.
We did it in World War II. We sent civilians over to train the Chinese fighter pilots. Like,
The civilians.
yeah.
But
yeah.
No, it's when this is one of those things where, again, like, yes, we can own cannons, but they have to be like, oh, they have to be designed pre this. So I want to know if I have like a 15-inch rifle, if that's still okay, or if it has to be smoothbore.
We should make a cannon.
Don't you get my hope?
Isn't there a cannon club in town?
There is.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I want to be a part of that.
Yes, there is.
No, yeah, we have a local cannon club. I know many of the members. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be at the corner of Euclid and Broadway, is a cannon, not a stupid library.
I agree. I tried to do that once. But the cannon that was for sale was not advertised as such, because it said cannon breech load. And I was like, breech loading cannon? Yes, please. I will purchase this. And it was a Canon model breech load 12 gauge shotgun. And I was like, this is false advertising and I hate you.
I'm surprised you didn't buy that too.
No, it was a pile. Instead, I bought a pair of 22s at that sheriff's auction that I was helping.
Funny.
Well, before we go any further down the derailment tonight, guys, do you have anything you want to add tonight?
Yeah, just hopefully, you know, I'm gonna take my tinfoil hat and kind of move it over here for a little bit. Hopefully, after Monday, you know, everything goes smooth. We can do this show for years and years to come. I'll just kind of put it back on now until Monday.
Well, that's fine. Like
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that. I have a tinfoil ceiling, so I don't have to wear the hat.
Ah, fair.
And Joe, you got anything to add?
No, just get out and support people like us. Support the little guys that are on Instagram or Rumble or wherever they're at. You come across someone that's putting out making cool content and they've only got 6 followers. Share the crap out of that stuff. Help them
Yeah.
out. Help everybody out. It's the nice thing about the gun industry. They're not trying to cannibalize themselves. They don't. For the most part, everybody wants to grow it, because if somebody finds us, they find somebody else, or we find somebody and share it, and we introduce you guys to it. So if we want to break this censorship stuff that the Second Amendment supporters see, we have to support each other. So share, like, comment, just go to town with it.
Yes, I agree. And guys, you guys all know what I'm going to say. Go out, get training. In order to be considering yourself a responsible armed citizen, you need to be proficient in your arms. Go out and get training. Get medical training. Do all of those things, because, remember that no one is coming to save you, and you are your own first responder. And you folks out there, you stay safe and stay armed.